most people avoid realizing that they're choosing what is getting created in their lives. They'd rather blame someone or something rather than, okay, I may not know what choice is, but somehow this is occurring because of my choice. See, what you do is you're not a victim of the choice, because what can I choose today that would change this? But you won't change it because that limitation is a great way of hiding the truth of you from you and what you know about you from you. You should be in the question about everything you choose. If I choose this, what will this create? That is a transformative awareness. This whole thing, and I've said this many times over the many facilitations, okay, but this whole thing of realizing that you're choosing it. You don't have to know why, but realizing that you're choosing it. So I'm realizing I'm only willing to create enough money for some classes, but not all. Like, I'm finally aware that I'm only willing to change a certain amount. That is a transformative awareness. Because when you finally go from, oh, it keeps happening to me, it keeps happening to me, it keeps happening. Why don't these people see me? Why don't they see me? And then you realize, oh, I'm the one using limitation to hide the truth of what I know from the world, including these people. Oh, that's where the power is, realizing that you're choosing it. And most people avoid realizing that they're choosing what is getting created in their lives. They'd rather blame someone or something rather than, okay, I may not know what choice is, but somehow this is occurring because of my choice. Even if your choice is to align and agree with somebody else's point of view, or by the who does this belong to, you're aware of how many of your limitations do you enforce on you to try to control other people and their choices? How many of you did you only get love, energy, and attention when you were sick or pathetic or broken or really smart or whatever it was? That's just one example. But how much of making yourself fucked up in any way is trying to control other people? Trying to control them so they're either nice to you or trying to control their choice. I used to make myself fucked up because when I was a kid, the only thing that seemed to work, and it worked like probably 1 out of 1,000 times, was if I pretended to be as fucked up as my family and as messed up and all that, then they'd be like, oh, we like you now. And I was like, oh, okay, well, if I just have to pretend to be fucked up and they'll like me instead of hate me, okay. So I spent my life pretending I was fucked up, but nobody liked me, especially me. But it was a strategy, but it was a choice I was using to try to control people. You should be in the question about everything you choose. But here's another great question that nobody will use. If I choose this, what will this create? Like, if you have 3 different choices, you just, and you may not even think it's working. Just try it a few thousand times until you find your way. Okay, but like, you might have 3 choices. Like, oh, I can go walk the dog. I can go see my friend. I can read this book. If I choose this, what will this create? If I choose this, what will this create? If I choose this, what will this create? And see which one gives more. And notice how sometimes the very thing that you know will create the lightness and the expansiveness. You'll be like, nah, for whatever reason. Time and money are great, but also, body problems and children. And oh man, children are like the greatest excuse so you don't have to have a life. It's amazing. And then you resent them too, which is also perfect, because the fact that you have them and you chose them and you're using them so you don't have to have a life. Those of you that are doing it, not all of you are doing it, okay? But it's a great reason not to have to create your own life. And then you resent them for it, which is proof that you don't want it. It's happening to you. You're a victim to this choice. No, you're not. See, what you do is you're not a victim of the choice, because what can I choose today that would change this? But you won't change it because that limitation is a great way of hiding the truth of you from you and what you know about you from you. which may be why you're choosing all your fucking limitations, or maybe not. Who knows? The awareness that when you go to say something like, I know there's no right or wrong, that right there is where you've stuck yourself because you don't know there's no right or wrong. And that's not wrong to not know there's no right or wrong. But that's what you want to look at is that you're functioning from right or wrong and trying to prove that you're not. So, what limitation are you making real to hide what you know about you from you? How much of the limitations of your body are you using to hide the truth of you and to hide what you know about you from you and to hide what you know about you from the world? How many of those limitations with your body aren't even yours? How many of them do you duplicate so that you can, it's like a ghillie suit that you use, that you duplicate so that you can hide the what you know about you and the truth of you from the world. And what do? You use the world's energies to do it. Isn't it interesting? You try to make your kids happy. Before that, you tried to make your parents happy. Have you ever been able to make anyone happy? Other than for the rare moment where you pretend to be doing everything they want. It seemed essential to use limitation to make limitation real. Okay, once again, making limitation real. What limitation are you making real to hide what you know about you from them? Okay, so it seemed essential to make limitation real so that you could hide what you know about you from people who didn't want you to know about you. They only wanted you to do everything they wanted you to do. How much do you use disappointment to try to control other people? I mean, that's what your mom and dad did with you, right? You were supposed to do what they wanted if they were disappointed in you. If you could stretch that a little bit to how much do you use sadness to try to control other people? How much do you use anger to try to control other people? How much do you use poverty to try to control other people? Which I know I'm adding this here and it doesn't seem exactly, but if you are hiding what you know about you from other people, then what you do rather than being there as you, when you're there as you can, there's a smorgasbord of choices that are not available if you're hiding the truth of you. They're not available if you're hiding what you know about you from the world by making limitation real. So you'll do other things like disappointment to try to control them. Why are you trying to control them? Lots of times it's because you care about them and you don't want to see them choose something that's painful for them. Or you want to try to control them to come closer or go further away from you based on a point of view. How many of you were told or energetically told that you were the reason for your parents' problems and your family's problems? That was a lie. It was a bunch of lies. It was a nonstop lie in your family. But what happens is when you're the most potent creature, especially the most potent humanoid in the room or in the family, then it's a way that they can absolve themselves of responsibility for everything while simultaneously diminishing you, the multicolored, multidimensional unicorn that you are, while simultaneously not having to change. Because here's one of the other things. If you talk to somebody about a miracle or something great, or you present the space of miraculousness to them, which is what you all are and were, whether you remember it right now or not is irrelevant. What happens is what a huge majority, almost all people will do is they will take what you give them and cut off all the bits of it so it matches their box rather than let their box expand based on this miraculousness that they're in the presence of. So everywhere you are, but I'm going to say were because you'll receive it more that way. Everywhere. So I'm going to ask you again to look at the being that you were before you came into this body. Okay. That's the being you are. Wow. Now, because you've all seen these adorable little humanoid kids that just have, there's just so much light in their eyes and their body and everything. They're just like, ah. so amazing. They just expand your world by their presence, right? Well, were you that? The answer is yes. Now, how do I know? Well, because I'm asking, not just because I'm assuming. Okay, the answer is yes, you were that. Are you that? The answer is yes, but how much do you, as that, how much did you terrify the shit out of these people? So everywhere you bought that it's all your fault, and everywhere you've been spending your entire lifetime trying to make up for having the idea that everything that occurs that is wrong for anyone is all your fault. Well, what would you do after that? Well, a couple of things. One is, if it's all your fault and somebody over here is like, whatever, doing something, you would do whatever you could to try to control them so that they would not make the choice that would limit them or hurt them or limit somebody else or hurt somebody else. You buy the lie that it's all your fault, and your job becomes fixing everything for everyone, and they give you this job, but they won't let you do the job. So everywhere you're really fucking confused, and you have cognitive dissonance and catch-22s, because they gave you the job, but they won't let you do the fucking job, and you're still trying to do the job, but nobody will let you do the job that you were given. Like, why give me a job and not let me do it? Your willingness to go and open the doors and your being allows us to go in a really, really cool way when there's so much change that's occurred that it's like, it's totally different. I know we are changing stuff. What else is possible?